Hello, this is Steve Thoele, principal broker with Premier Property Group, and bringing you another update on the Newberg, Oregon real estate market. This update is going to cover the last 8 weeks of market activity, ending this past Sunday, March 12th. So I'm going to share my screen with you now, go through the info with you as I always do. Before I do that, always like to put in a quick plug for my YouTube channel. If you already haven't subscribed, I certainly encourage you to do so. It's a really great way for you to stay up to date on what's happening in your local market. So be sure to hit the subscribe button before you leave. So with that, on with the update. First off, looking at active listings, this last week we had 8 new listings in Newberg, down a couple from the week prior, but you can kind of see it's been holding pretty steady over the past month at between 8 and 10 new listings a week. And ended the week with 61 homes on the market. And you can again see that's been a pretty tight range, had a low of 57 and a high of 69. So, it's been over this past month, it's just been within, 2 or 3 listings of each other on a week by week basis. The median price and days on market for those active listings, you can kind of see where that's trended. We had a high of 550 here about 5 weeks back. You can kind of see that that's been trending down over this past month now, reaching kind of a low of 512,000 for the median list price for the current 61 listings. And the days on market, that's kind of followed a similar trend. We had a high of 88 days of market time here about 5 weeks back. That's declined down to 51 days of average market time for the current 61 listings on the market. Moving along to pending sales. This last week, I showed we had 6 new pendings in Newberg. Again, that's been pretty consistent. You can see on a week-by-week basis, had a low of 4, a high of 10, and over this past month, again, it's been between 6 and 8 per week. And ended the week with 42 homes in pending status. That's starting to kind of come down a little bit. You can kind of see we kind of crested here about 3 weeks back at 49 listings. And so we've lost a little bit over the past couple of weeks. The median price and days on market for those pendings, you can kind of see where that's been. We had a high of 535 for about 3 weeks. And then it came down, clear down to 475 just a couple weeks back. And this last week kind of popped back up to 525,000. It was the median price of the current 42 pending sales. And then days on market, that's trended down. You can kind of see we had a high of 100 days of market time 8 weeks back. And this last 3 weeks has been sitting right around 66, 67 days of average market time. And that's kind of where we're at right now with the most recent number of pendings. And then lastly, we'll look at sold listing activity. So as of the time I put the info together, I showed we had 8 properties go from pending to sold last week in Newberg. You can kind of see that's kind of come down just a couple from the high of 10 that we had here 3 weeks back, but certainly higher than where we were here, earlier in the period. And when I look back over the prior 4 weeks of activity on a week-by-week basis, this last week we had 34 closings over the prior 4 weeks in Newberg, and you can see that's really climbed quite dramatically from where we hit a low of 9 here about 6 weeks back. So definitely been a little surge in activity here over the past 5 or 6 weeks in terms of sales. And then the median price and days on market for those solds, you can see we trended up to about 550,000 about a month ago, and then that's been coming down a bit. This last week dropped quite dramatically, down to 465,000 was the median price for the most recent 34 sales in Newberg. And then seeing quite a big decrease as well as in the days on market. You can kind of see that started off around 60 days, got clear up to about 117 days just about 3 weeks ago. And then that's really come down over the past couple of weeks. So the most recent reading is 63 days of average market time for, again, these 34 most recent sales in Newberg. So things have been starting to sell quicker than what we experienced in kind of the dead of winter here a couple months back. And then to finish up, we'll look at the weeks of inventory and the sale price as a percent of the OLP or original list price. So red bars is that weeks of inventory. And you can kind of see we hit a high in terms of inventory about 6 weeks back at just under 26 weeks of inventory. And that's, again, where we only had just a handful of closings over the 4 weeks. And that's really dropped. This inventory numbers really dropped pretty dramatically as the number of closings have increased and supply has been relatively steady. So most recent reading is just over 7 weeks of inventory. So we're back under 2 months worth of inventory now based upon the current amount of homes on the market and what the sales rate is. So quite a turnaround over the past month and a half. And then the sale price as a percent of the list price, you can kind of see that we had a high of about 93.5%, and that dipped clear down to the high 80s, and it's recovered back up to right now, we're at 90%. So that's just on average about a 10% discount off of the original list price, original asking price. So definitely a more active market. We have definitely have experienced some price reductions, and sellers had to obviously get their asking prices down to get their homes sold, but it's definitely on the uptick. And with the continued amount of pendings that we currently have, I would suspect that this number's the inventory is going to remain pretty limited here going forward, and pretty tight market. So that is the update, most recent update. So I hope that was helpful for you. As always, if I can ever answer any questions or be of any help to you, certainly would welcome the opportunity to see if I could be of service. All my contact information is down below this video in the description. So you can either give me a call or send me an email, and I would be happy to help. So as always, really appreciate you watching. Hope you have a great day and week ahead, and we'll see you on the next video.